Okay, so now that we know how to cast on, I'm going to teach you how to knit in this video. So when you have your tail behind here, make sure this is not the yarn that you're using to knit. Make sure you're holding onto the yarn that's attached to the yarn ball. So you're going to transfer the needle that has the stitches into your left hand, and then we're going to start to knit. So right now my right hand has the needle that doesn't have any stitches. So I'm going to first demonstrate how to knit English style. I won't really explain how to tension the yarn because this failed me as well, but you will go into the stitch from the back to the front like that, forming an X, and then you will grab your yarn. This one is the yarn from the yarn ball, yarn over like this, and then pull through, and then remove that stitch off the needle. So far we have knitted one stitch, and then go into the next stitch, same exact way, yarn over, and then pull through like that. So you will do that for each and every stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through. Let me get this yarn out of the way because it may be a little bit confusing. Make sure your yarn is coming from this side that is pulling onto the yarn. So insert your hook, you go into that loop. You can see the stitch has this side and the back side, but go in between and form an X, and then yarn over and pull through. Insert, yarn over, and pull through. So it's that easy. I'm demonstrating using the English style knitting. If you want to learn to pick up speed and improve your English style knitting, there are several videos that you can watch and you learn how to tension your yarn. So as you work, you push your stitches backwards so that they don't get in the way. Make sure when you're knitting, your next stitch should be almost near that smaller part of the yarn. You can see it's shaped as a pencil. Your next stitch should be somewhere around there so that when you're placing your needle, it should not be struggling to pass through. So we're almost coming to the end, and I have one stitch left. I'll go into it same exact way, form an X like that, and then yarn over and pull through. So this is our knit stitch. So I'm going to demonstrate that one more time using the same exact style, English style. So insert your hook into the first stitch, forming an X. So you should be having something that looks like this. And then grab your yarn, yarn over, and pull through that yarn that you yarned over. And it's that simple. when you're inserting your hook, make sure you're going into only one loop of the stitch. So different people have different ways of tensioning their yarn. I believe at some point I tensioned my yarn from my feet. I don't even know what I was thinking, but I was learning how to flick and I just couldn't understand how to keep my yarn like in this straight position. So I tried to tension it and tried all several ways, tried to tension it using the table, and still it couldn't work. So just keep practicing until you get to learn what you're comfortable with. So we are almost coming to the end of the row, and I'm inserting my needle into the last stitch, yarn over and pull through. So this is our next knit stitch. So in simple terms, we are creating the garter stitch because we are only knitting. Knit, 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 knit will create the garter stitch. So now I'm going to demonstrate how to knit using the Continental style knitting. So for Continental, your yarn is going to be tensioned in your left hand, and for me, I don't even tension my yarn as such. If I'm to tension, I just pinch a bit here, and you're going to insert your hook the same exact way, almost forming a cross, and then you just scoop. So scoop, scoop. So Continental style knitting is a little bit easier, I could say, because it's more like a straight route. Especially for the knit stitch, it seems way easier because you don't have to let go of the needles and then you yarn over. Like, as you can see, the movement is very swift. Just open up the stitch and grab the yarn behind. I don't know if the lighting is doing us justice, but I hope you can see what I'm trying to do right now. You just scoop the yarn that is tensioned onto your finger. And we are doing the same exact thing, nothing has changed. Both approaches, you will get the knit stitch. And with this, you can go really fast if you wish. The moment you get the hang of it, like, I feel like Continental style knitting is very quick, but if you see the English style knitters who have also mastered the art, it just looks so good. So as you can see, we are creating the garter stitch still. So let me demonstrate that one more row for you guys using the Continental style knitting. So I have my yarn tensioned in my left hand. Insert your needle and then scoop the yarn. So we are just scooping the yarn that is here. Just open up this loop and grab that yarn and remove the stitch off the needle on your left hand. So that's all that we are going to do. So it doesn't matter what needles that you're using. This you can use the straight needles or the circular needles. It's okay for both. And as you go along, you will notice that you can even make something out of this. You can make maybe a section of a cardigan. If you want to make it using boxes, you can go ahead and make a box and then make several boxes that can be joined. Or you can turn this into a very cute scarf. I've seen some people make very simple scarves using the garter stitch and using very chunky yarn. Those look really nice. So what I would advise is, if you want to learn how to make this stitch, your tension will be very tight at the beginning, especially for the very beginners. The tension of your yarn will be very tight, but as you go along, you'll ease up your hands. Like, I remember when I was first knitting, my hands were even shaky at that point, and I just couldn't imagine that I can hold 2 needles at the same time and start knitting. So if your hands are shaky, if you feel like your hands can't grab, just keep practicing. Like, you'll get there. Your stitches will tend to be a little bit tighter, on the tighter side, but as you go ahead to practice and practice and practice, your hands will loosen up, and then you'll get your tension. You'll get your exact tension for your knitting. Just like crochet, everyone has their tension. There are people who crochet tightly, and then there are those people who crochet loosely, and then there are those people in the middle. So as you keep practicing, you will get that comfortable spot, and you will learn how to knit with your own tension. So that's it for today. I hope you had fun, and I can't wait to see how you're practicing with the knit stitch or creating the garter stitch for different garments. And I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again in my next video when we are learning how to purl. Bye.